program. So, day three of our program. My name is Raphael Ezike, popularly known as Don Ralph. I'm a media and creative personnel. So, today I have my co host, Sheyi and Ayo. Say hi.
Hi. Good morning.
Okay, that's good. So, today's session is going to be great. So, if you can hear us loud and clear online, just drop an emoji like thumbs up on YouTube, Instagram, and every other platform you can hear us. So, just drop that emoji so we know you can hear us live and clear. So, today's lineup is wonderful and you don't want to miss it. We have a great list of interesting and professional people to talk to us passionately, to inspire us, and to lead us. But before then, let's take highlights from Ayo and Shay. So, who's going first?
I'll go first.
All right.
So yesterday we had Miss Tomi Balogun and we had Mr. Tolushe. So Miss Tomi Balogun like taught us about spending cash wisely, investments, also developing yourself outside what you know academically. And Mr. Tolushe taught us how to think on the bright side in negative situations, and also that social media does not define who we are, and that we should always try to be ourselves more. Yeah.
Okay, nice one. So
Yesterday, we also had Mrs. Abimbola Ajegbule, which I would say was a very beautiful presentation. She talked about the greatest bankers of our time, like Lawrence Fink, the manager, the CEO and chairman of BlackRock, the largest money management firm in the world, who studied political science, which led to our next topic. She talked about entrepreneurship, how entrepreneurship
that beautiful break. So before now, we mentioned that we have three special guests to be joining us soon. Odion Igalo, popular Nigerian footballer, Adams Ibrahim Adebola, aka VJ Adams, and Mrs. Omawumi Agumbiade. So before the break, we're just gisting, right? I was like, who's your favorite on the list?
Odion Igalo.
Odion Igalo. You're like a footballer, right?
Yes,
Like,
sir.
oh, like a new Messi. So how do you feel like Messi going to PSG?
It's a weird transfer. I didn't expect
It's a
it.
weird transfer.
Yes, because out of all teams, I don't know why I would choose PSG.
I don't understand. What's wrong with PSG?
PSG, I don't think.
Please, oh, guys,
I
it's
don't
him.
think-
It's
I
not-
don't-
I didn't influence that. I don't know what he means by what's PSG.
I don't think PSG can. I don't think he can win anything with them, Sha.
Wow.
That's just my point of view.
Your own point of he can't win anything with PSG.
I don't think so.
Even with the likes of Ramos,
Nah, they don't.
Mbappe in one team, Messi in one team.
Maybe not.
Which team
No.
will beat them?
They will still win, no, but like
And which
Like
team will
the-
win Sergio Ramos, Messi?
they are there
Mbappe?
now. Barcelona is there. Chelsea,
Barcelona
Chelsea,
and Messi just
Chelsea's there. Man City is there. So
I beg. Let's wait for John, guys. Maybe he will tell us what he thinks. This is APS is not a team. Can you imagine? And so, what's your favorite on the list? Or who's your favorite?
VJ Adams.
BJ Adams. Okay. So why?
Because of what I want to be.
What do you want to be?
Is that I want to be like in media or in
Media.
newscasts.
Oh, newscaster, like a
Yes.
journalist,
Yes.
like on the field, CNN, kind of going to Boko Haram to cover, kind of newscaster.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Doesn't matter. I just like
Doesn't matter.
yes.
I can imagine people online now saying, "Yeah, that girl get mind though." Like seriously, you want to
Or
go to
like-
Boko Haram?
You know Nancy Sime.
Yeah, of
That
course I
woman
know
that
Nancy
interviews.
Simon.
Yeah, I also like the way
Okay, but she does entertainment, like
yes, I
shows
can
and
do
all.
like
So
also
you
like
can
that
do
aspect of
also.
it.
But which one is your specific that you love? The entertainment or the Boko Haram and Iraqi coverage?
Entertainment.
You don't want to die, Abby.
I do not want to die, but
Oh.
if it comes that way, I'll take it like that.
You take it like that.
Yes.
Okay. Just be saving your questions for VJ Adams. I know he will be willing to listen to you. All right. So VJ Adams will be joining us soon. But before he does join us, I'll be reading his profile. So our first speaker is Mr. Ibrahim Adebola, popularly known as VJ Adams. So who is VJ Adams? He's an outstanding television presenter, musician, Nigerian video jockey, and entrepreneur. VJ Adams is a certified journalist from the British Broadcasting Corporation, a young man of multiple talents, and a graduate of civil engineering from the prestigious University of Lagos. You want to go to University of Lagos?
no, I don't know. But I probably don't. I
It's
don't.
like this guy is just different.
I-
First, he's dissing PSG. Now we have this a whole prestigious. Do
I
you know that's my school? I went to that school.
So your part is different.
I said my part
My,
is
my
different.
part might not be there.
Your part might not be there. Where is your part?
I don't know. Sha,
Mushi
but
University. Where is your part?
outside.
Where is
abroad,
outside?
abroad,
Say it with your full chest.
abroad.
Abroad.
I pray so.
I no wonder. See as you be. Nice car. You want to leave us in Nigeria, abi? So you want to go. So what about you? Don't just say you don't like University of Lagos.
I didn't say anything. Anything that comes. I said anything that comes, that's what I'll take.
I don't need anything that comes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So VJ Adams is a multiple talented young individual. I know most of you know him from Sound City. Yes. Great guy. So we'll be looking forward to have a great conversation with him. He'll be joining us virtually very soon. But before then, I would like to tell you guys to follow us on all our social media platforms. On Instagram, follow us at Focus Counseling with a double L. Focus and Counseling. No, Instagram is.
Oh, it's YouTube. There's one L.
So YouTube is 1L. So on YouTube, follow us on Focus Counseling 1L. On Instagram, Focus Counseling 2L. And I would like to give a shout out to all those that have made this happen. Like you can see behind us, you see Wema Bank Alert. So if you want to get alert sharply, hook up to Wema Bank Alert. We have Focard Global Concept. We have Right Foods. We have all the logos behind me. These guys, you guys are great. Thank you all for making this happen. Thank you for inspiring our teenagers, our young people, and making this happen. Now, before we go to today's topic, I want you guys to bring out your notebooks, right? Because we're not just talking. That's not the main purpose of this program. The purpose of this program is to make you identify your passion, identify your strengths, and also to help you make wise choices in this era and time. You've heard my co-presenters or co-hosts. They've said or mentioned what their passions are. That's because they identified it early and they're willing to go about it. So, for example, if you're watching this and you say, "I want to be a journalist, I want to be a footballer, I want to be an entrepreneur," and you don't know what to study, this is what this program is to help and guide you. So if you want to be a journalist, just like my friend here wants to be a journalist, you should start looking at courses you study. So if you're in GSS 1 or 2, that means you should start looking at, okay, I'm going to be in arts class. So if you want to be a journalist and you're in science class, it's going to be a problem, because when you enter university, or when you want to enter the university, you can't do mass communications because you don't have the art subject. That's what a lot of us faced in our days. Like I remember the first day, our host Tola and our convener, Mr. Ola Kazim, mentioned weird names that they studied. Do you even remember what they studied again? As if you can't even, can you remember what they said?
Something about water.
Imagine, just that's what they remember. Something like one long name like that: water treatment, psychology, clinical, because they didn't focus or didn't have the opportunity to get to the right course in time. So this program is to help you. So you can speak to your counselor, speak to your parents early enough to guide you in that part, either as you want to be an art student or a science student. This is very, very important. So now start aligning your goals and passion. Write them down. Know what your passions are. And if you listen to BJ Adams today, you feel like, oh, I want to go into entertainment, I want to go into journalism. So jot it down. Then know your strengths. Then you can now start switching to that course. Okay. So if you can hear me loud and clear, just give us a thumbs up again on YouTube and all our various online platforms. And you can drop a comment on what you like to be in the future. But please don't be like this guy here. This guy is just weird. He doesn't like PSG. And then he just diss Unilag on live TV, like live TV. That he wishes it doesn't go there. But anyway, I love her. She's us, you can give her like a emoji clap, she's with us. She loves us here. Yeah. Did I say she clap?
I was clapping for her now. Clapping for
You that
us.
is leaving us. Oh, us.
For us.
Oh, we are the UAR.
Yes. Clapping for people.
You are Canada.
Anyway, outside there, I end up.
Outside.
I'm okay.
Okay. All right.
Even South Africa safe.
All right. So I think we have VJ Adams on, right? Yeah. So VJ Adams is on. Guys, so we're about to be blown away. Great program coming up soon. So let's go straight to it. VJ Adams, can you hear me?
How will I be able to hear him?
VJ Adams? Or is he on Sound City?
This thing filled out. Hello.
Wait, are we still there?
Okay, VJ Adams, can you hear me? Okay, while we're trying to get VJ Adams, we'll go on a break and we'll be right back. But make sure to
Oh no.
Chi.
Hello. Okay. Are, are we live? Okay. All right. All right. Welcome back, guys. Sorry for that long break. We had to make sure Mr. VJ Adams was online and ready to go. So, VJ Adams will be looking at talking to us about building a professional career as an entertainer and journalist. So, if you would like to be an entertainer, a broadcaster, a journalist, a presenter, this is for you guys. This is for you. So take out your notes, jot down something, questions, and at the live centers, pass it on to our representatives, and we will get your questions. And if you're online, drop us your comments, your questions on the chat box on the comment section below, and we will read that out. So Vijay Adams, can you hear me? If you can, just say hi or wave so that everyone online can see you.
Hello, hi. Okay, turn off the camera. Hold on. Hello, hi. I'm trying
Okay.
to check
I'll
if
read out
the
Vijay
network is perfect.
Adams' profile once again. So Vijay Adams is online now. Okay, Vijay Adams, can you hear me? Just wave to people online, different teenagers and groups. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, me too. I'm trying to feel like a celeb now. I mean, what's up, what's up? So Vijay Adams, um, so if you can hear me, today's topic is building a professional career as an entertainer and journalist. So would you like to start off by telling us how, I mean, you found your career? How did it all begin? How did all this Vijay Adams
How I
thing
found
begin?
my if I understand the question, it's how I found my career. I would say it must have started from secondary school actually. Um, when I was in SS2, I was made the social prefect, which part of the responsibilities of that would mean putting together social gatherings, the entertainment arm of the school at the time. Even though I thought I was going to be an engineer, I was going to pursue engineering. So, but I was able to make up my mind to pursue broadcasting effectively in 2008 when I did a BBC certified training just to back up the talent. Um, Originally, though, I figured I could do this for life when I was invited to a friend's birthday, must have been late 2007. And I was given a camera and the mic just to chat with people. And what happened was when I started chatting with people, a lot of people gathered around me and thought I was an established presenter. And me seeing that was able to, convince me in my mind like, oh, okay, I can actually do this for work, even though I didn't have any form of training at the time. Um, and that was the reason I researched and did the BBC certified training I did it from Nigeria actually. There's a school called Speak Right Sound Right in 2008 before the next movie star, and then being able to pursue TV full time. However, the topic that is in focus is regarding how to stay relevant using technology. And the first thing I'd like to tell you is you need to understand why you do what you do. You need to genuinely ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? For a lot of people, I realized mostly in recent times that people want to be famous, but if you're excellent at your job, fame comes with it. You don't have to make deliberate efforts to being famous. Like, just be excellent at what you do. People will love you for it, except trying to go for Big Brother. um, so yeah, the first thing I like to tell you and remind yourself is do what you do for the right reasons. Be sure in your heart it's something you genuinely love to do. And if you can get trained, it will be perfect, to back it up. And this goes beyond broadcasting or journalism. If you want to do fashion, anything else, anything within the entertainment space, I would recommend you get trained because when you get trained, what that does for you is there are a lot of questions that you'll be able to answer. So when you're on the job, you will understand why certain things are done certain ways, other than just guessing. Um, when you get trained and you can back it up with a lot of level of competence, using technology is an added advantage because let's put this in perspective. It's 2000 and what, 2021? In Nigeria, where we function from, the government says Twitter is prohibited, right? Don't you further notice? What that means is the same government can take away your Instagram and can take away a lot of other social media platforms. And when that happens, are you gonna not eat? Are you gonna stay hungry because the social media platforms are taken from you? You don't want to do that. And the only way you wouldn't stay hungry when that happens is if you've been able to build competence at anything that you do, right? So now, no one is hiring me to MC a gig or to host a TV show solely because I have a social media following. It's an added advantage, but that's not the reason. They're going to hire me for my competence and, they can leverage on the social media following. However, to focus on what the real topic is, which is let's assume everything is working perfectly, like no government is trying to take away your social media from you. How do you use that to maintain relevance at what you do? To be honest, I think things are way easier than they were when I was on the come up. In 2007, 2008, there was no Instagram, there was no TikTok. I was probably on just Facebook. All the social media angles and the things you have access to right now, they were really not there. So someone can wake up in 2021 and be known all across the world in a blink of an eye. And that's the power. And that's the power of social media right now. However, don't get carried away with don't get carried away with the glam side of it. What you should focus on is how to use that to propel whatever you're selling. If you're a hairdresser, stylist, fashion designer, actor, you can use it. Matter of fact, even if you're a prospective actor, you can use TikTok, matter of fact, to sell yourself. And from there, your life can change forever. When I was on the come up, we didn't have access to that. Even though it feels like it's a long time ago, it's just 12 years ago, but it's the reality. In 2008, there was no TikTok. Right now, I know a lot of young people who are superstars on TikTok who can earn a living from it. But for a me who didn't naturally have access to that, I understand the importance of relevance. So let's even ask ourselves, what is relevance? What does it mean to be relevant? When they say XYZ or this person is relevant, what does it mean? It means top of the mind awareness. It means in whatever respective field you are in, when they think about the top three, top five people in that field, your name comes to mind. That is relevance. If you think about actors in Nigeria, RMD will still come to your mind in 2021. That is high level of relevance, you know. And if you check any other field, um, be it photography or anything else, even in 2021, think about photography, Kelechi Amadi Obi's name will still come to mind. Whether or not you haven't seen him in a year or you haven't seen him in 2 years, for some reason, his name is right there, top two, top three, even though there are a lot of young photographers who are thriving now in that same space. So, your first job is to make sure you're not rigid with technology. You got to have an open mind and ask questions. You know, all these, oh my God, this TikTok, yeah, while I see these young people, these young, every time, no, that'll be, you'll be ignorant to do that to yourself, except you're not interested in having longevity at whatever it is that you do. So if technology has moved in that direction, you pick and choose. So if you say, okay, I'll choose Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, make sure I'm active on those platforms. Share your thoughts on certain things that can help your followers. And also, you need to know your followers. You need to understand your followers and know your followers. Know the people that follow you because people follow people for different reasons. For the most part, social media is built into three phases. The first phase is the luxury phase, private jets, big cars, wads of cash, expensive restaurants, type image. The second is comedy, which is thriving, always thrives. There's always a new comedian springing up, and the Macaronis, the MC Lively's, the Josh Tufonis, the Talmas, the list goes on and on. That's the other phase. And the third phase for me, for the most part, is social commentators, people that are active about politics. Whenever there's something burning in terms of a topic, they're there. The Camille Noyers and so on. The fan base of these three people are absolutely different. So you need to figure out where you belong and know who your fans are. Because if you have a mass fan base, right? And this just it's not about numbers. A mass fan base is really in my mind what I'm trying to explain to you with that is the grassroots. You know that the young boy in Agege and the young girl in Okokomaiko, they look up to you. They're aspirational about what you do. You cannot sell a luxury, anything luxury to that market. So even if you have numbers, you can have 5 million followers. If you have 5 million of those type of people, there's no way you're trying to sell a Bentley to them, right? And for me, that's part of the things you need to figure out along the line to help you maintain your relevance. You need to understand the market, understand the people that follow you, and know what you're trying to sell to them. That way, your relevance it won't be hard because you know what to give to the people. Even though you might have a high level of creative juice to try out new things and all that stuff, you would try out all of those new things within the context of servicing the market you already have. Um, for the most part, when I speak with my team regarding relevance, I tell them I work out on deals every time. There are times, a company can tell me, oh, we don't have money for you, but we'll give you products. I can work out on the deal and tell them, not this time. Let's revisit this next year, maybe the year after. And I'm not scared to work out on deals because the most important thing for me is to remain VJ Adams. If I'm VJ Adams, I can always have the conversation next year or the year after. That's so my job is to make sure I remain VJ Adams. And who's VJ Adams? The man who's not scared to dream, the man who's willing to invest in himself over and over again. And if you don't invest in yourself, there's no way you're going to be relevant, no matter how much you want to use technology. Investing in yourself, let me put this in perspective for you. In 2018, no, in 2016, I stopped taking hype man bookings, right? You know what it means to be a hype man at parties. Yeah, come on, put your hands up. Yeah, yeah. I stopped taking those bookings in 2016. And I did that because I realized that the world was moving to a phase where the DJs were becoming their own hype men. They were hyping their own sets. So I was calculating that in the next couple of years, what will happen is only maybe 2-3 hype men will be getting gigs. It won't be an open market for a lot of people. Because if the DJs can hype their sets, why are you paying a DJ and paying a hype man? That's from an event's perspective now. So you'd rather pay a DJ that can hype his set. So if you hire 2 DJs, that saves you the cost of hiring 4 people, which is 2 DJs and 2 hype men. So I made a deliberate effort to learn how to DJ in 2018, right? Cool DJ Jimmy Jack, shout out to him, taught me how to DJ in about 30 minutes. And I went ahead to work myself the entire year into 2019. And I only started taking gigs in 2019 as a DJ, right? Not knowing COVID was going to happen in 2020. Now, COVID happens in 2020. There are no bookings to MC, no bookings to host any goddamn TV. Oh, pardon my language. No bookings to host any TV show. Now, the only thing that got me money in 2020 during the heat of the COVID was to virtual DJ parties or whatever. So, in the heat of COVID, when a lot of my mates were redundant and didn't have anything to do, I was relevant in the space to be able to render a service that kept me afloat till things started to ease out and even out again. So I gave you that scenario to tell you how important it is to invest in yourself. If I didn't make that move to learn how to DJ, I bought myself a console. My console is worth about 1.2 million. So to make that investment of that cash to buy myself a console, it directly means I'm investing in myself to stay relevant. And the process, obviously, cannot ignore the fact that technology plays an important role. So one of the things I want you to take back home is invest in yourself. You don't have to wait for it. It'll be great to have sponsors, great to have help from time to time, but also live as though none of that is going to come, and live as though you're going to have to save up to be able to get these things you want for yourself, because only you understand where you're headed, especially if you intend to do this for a long time. The conversation will always center around relevance in whatever field. It's just a fact. The reason, again, I can work out on deals is I know that I can have that conversation on a better level, maybe on a higher level, if I'm still relevant. If I stop being relevant, then no deal is going to be on the table anymore. And so I'm happy this is the conversation point for this talk, because even though we could use God a lot of the times and say, oh, it's God, which is very important as well. It's good to have a spiritual standpoint and know your connection with God. But you cannot ignore some deliberate moves you need to make on the face of the earth that God will bless. you need to give God something to work with. So how do you say you're an up and coming artist, for example, and I look through your page on Instagram or I look through your tweets, nothing whatsoever with you singing or freestyling or you in the studio. I mean, even when you go for interviews these days at the embassy, I'm talking about you traveling, something that has to do nothing with your work. The first thing they do is they check you out on Google, they check you out on social media, they ask for your name. And this is the fact. When I was in my when I was trying to go to the States, that was a long time ago, 2014, 2013. There, it was the first thing the guy did. They check you up. So how you're represented on these platforms, social media, you underestimate it, and you can never underestimate. You can never take it for granted. Take for example on Big Brother now. There's a girl called GMK, right? And just by virtue of her being on the show, people put up tweets from her past to almost judge her right now. So the social media space you're in, you think is just a tweet to say, "Oh, look at Terry G's hair. I don't like his hair," and you never know how many years from now that's going to come to play. They say the internet never forgets. So while you're trying to maintain relevance, don't be desperate for attention. Do not be desperate for attention. Do not do anything that doesn't sit well with the principles that govern your world because you want social media attention. Know thyself. Know thy fan base. Know who you're reaching out. Plenty talk, not a full basket. A lot of everything that I've said, I'm sure you can possibly get that on Google. So I'm going to ask if you have questions, or maybe you just put them up on the screen, and maybe I can just answer the questions as quick as possible. And let me turn on my camera again. I turned off the camera because I thought it was affecting the network. So
A busy man, and we appreciate this time. But so we'll go straight to the questions. Ayo will be taking the questions.
Hello?
hello, hi.
Hello?
So Ayo,
Oh.
take the question.
So I heard what you said about people doing desperate things to like just be relevant. But I have a question. I'm looking forward to a career in like newscasting and being a media personnel. Is there like any sort of training I should go through?
Oh yes, there's a lot of trainings in different parts actually, but the one I could recommend, because I did the Speak Right Sound Right training, even though it was 2008, but I know they still the speech masters, they still do the training because they teach you with the BBC standard. That I could text Ola a number to call for that actually, because I'm not ready for my own training camp yet, which should happen sometime in the year. So I can't give you dates to mind. So if we really need to get to it, I'll give you a number. You could do the Speak Right Sound Right. His wife and him, they're the Ophelis, Mr. Sidney Ophelli and his wife. They're pretty good. They're perhaps the best. IK also did the same training I did with that platform. So yeah.
Okay. So I hear that you also are a professional disc jockey. Was there a time you had to discern on which career path to take? And if there was, what was the major push to making that happen or detour?
There was so for me the excitement is being able to thrive in multiple fields. I never wanted to just do one thing. I think that for me it's boring. To me, it doesn't mean if you do one thing you're bored. You're bored. But personally, for me, I get bored easily, and for me, the swag when I'm 80, what I want to be able to say is I was able to excel in multiple fields. You know, do TV, do radio, merchandise, fashion, put together the biggest video gaming event in the country, DJ, act on my own TV channel, my own radio. You know, for me, I'm big on equity and ownership because it's not a conversation a lot of people in this part of the world like to have. You know, everybody just the cycle almost is almost as though you grow up, you marry, you give birth, you send them to school, they start hustling, you die, they continue hustling, they give birth. You know, everybody like that. No real equity, no real ownership, no generational wealth. So I'm big on making a difference, you know, for my generation, for my own people. So excelling in multiple fields has always been my go-to. Never to be one local champion in one field. But it's okay if you want to do one thing, but I can tell you for a fact, no billionaire in the world does one thing, not one. So you can choose whatever works for you. So if you're cool with just getting by, that's okay too. But I'm not cool with just getting by. I want to be able to have generational wealth. When I'm long gone, I want certain things for the people I leave behind, and so on.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vijay Adam. So, the points taken from this today's discussions is invest in yourself, know your competence, know your market, and staying relevant. Understand why you do what you do, and you also understand your audience. So, any final words, with Vijay Adams, to our beautiful teenagers watching
Um,
online in our life centers?
um, Wherever you're watching from, understand that you don't want to become the things you complain about, right? So you're a teenager now. There's so much you complain about from your immediate elder ones, from the people in the career path you're trying to get mentored by your parents. There are things you complain about every time. Well, guess what? In a couple of years, you're going to cross over from being a teenager to becoming an adult. You do not want to become those things you complain about. So you need to constantly check yourself, right? And that's just a life goal and not beyond career path. In terms of your career path, do it for the right reasons. I can tell you for a fact, it's the only reason I've been able to do this for 12 years. And if I never told you categorically that I've been 12 years in this game, you probably wouldn't know because you wouldn't see from that perspective because I try to keep it fresh every time. But because I love what I do, even when the stormy waters in my face, I know I'm going to get through it. I know there's light at the end of the tunnel. I know things will get better. It's never going to stay the way they are. And because I'm laser focused on achieving my dreams and achieving my goals. So make sure you set goals for yourself. Even if you don't achieve them immediately, but always revisit them. So I have a notepad every year. I write things out. Oh, this year, Celebrity Video Game Challenge. Oh, I'm going to launch this. I'm going to launch Know Your Music. I've been writing on my notepad since 2011 because I created a show called Know Your Music in 2011. And guess what? I only shot season one of that show last week. It's been 10 years, 10 years, 10 whole years of revisiting Know Your Music every year. I only shot the pilot season last week. So your dreams are valid. Understand that your dreams are valid, provided you work at it, constantly work at it, never stop, never settle. Treat people with respect. There is no um, there is no swag, there is no glamour in being a successful nuisance. You can be a successful, good human being, right? May God be with you.
Okay, thank you so much, Vijay Adams. Wow, this has been a wonderful session. Thank you so much. We'll gather other questions and we'll forward them to you, and hopefully you get them across to us. So, how was today's session was beautiful. Thank you all for watching, and we still have a whole lot of other guests and other activities lined up. So, thank you so much, Mr. Vijay Adams. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.
I'm a child, I'm proud to be a child. I'm bold and confident, I'm not to be abused. I'm special, and yes, I am a star. Infinite potentials, I'll be what I can be. I have a voice, and I will always speak the truth. I made a choice to stand out and take the world. I'm a child, I live today. I take responsibility for whatever I do. I have a voice, and I will always speak the truth. I made a choice to stand out and take the world. I'm a child, I live today. I take responsibility for whatever I do. I am bold, and yes, I'm strong and wise. I am intelligent, I'm free to fly so high. I know my worth, I think before I act. I'm joyful and peaceful, I stand up for my right. I have a voice, and I will always speak the truth. I made a choice to stand out and take the world. I'm a child, I live today. I take responsibility for whatever I do. show up, I stand out. I have a future, the future is in me. I show up, and stand out. I have a future, the future is in me. I have a voice and I will always speak the truth. I made a choice to stand out and take the world. I'm a child, I live today. I take responsibility for whatever I do.
I'm a child, I'm confident, I'm prominent. You can't abuse me. I said it last time, I'll say it again. We're moving and pick up the pace. We're changing our nation, it starts today. They say we are leaders tomorrow. I tell them your bros, we are leaders today. Yeah, how they say. Parents taking up your room every day. AC, try not to fail. Parents are stressed that we do anyway. It feels real tough to pick up the pace, but we got to try hard as resilience they stated. We do wrong, we take the prize. We do right, we take the prize. Give a shout out for your proud to be a child.
I have a voice and I will always speak the truth. I made a choice to stand out and take the world. I'm a child, I live today. I take responsibility for whatever I do. The future is in me. Oh, the future is in me. I have a voice, and I will always. I'm a child.
The thing about my career was I'm my own boss. That I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I rolled the dice, and to become great at whatever you want to do, you got to roll the dice and take a chance on yourself. The best thing about my career.
Hi guys, welcome back. I'm back here with my co-host Sheyi and Ayo. Say hi.
Hi.
So hope you guys have been enjoying our program thus far. So we'll go straight to the second speaker for today, Odion Igalo. Yes, our own Odion Igalo, Nigerian professional footballer. I'll quickly read his profile because he's right on and ready to go on live right now. So let's go straight to his profile. So Odion Igalo is a passionate and committed footballer, having played for the likes of Julius Berger, Manchester United, to name just a few. He's also an individual with great commitment to human capital development, with his support for several charitable organizations, as well as investment in youth development. He will be discussing on the topic about building a successful sporting career regardless of background. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, join me in welcoming Mr. Odion Igalo.
I
So, Mr. Igalo, can you hear us, please? Just say something.
hear you guys clearly. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, thank you for joining us, sir. I know you're very, very busy. So let's go straight to it. Can you please share your background with us and how it all started for you in football?
Well, my name is Odion Jude Igalo. I was born in Ajegule in Lagos, and I'm the last born of, I would say, 7 siblings from my mom. It was not easy back then, growing up in Ajegule. I don't know if many people here know where Ajegule is now. So if I remember how it all started, today where I am, I just give glory to God, because sometimes when I talk about God, people think I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy because I know where I came from. I know where I started. Ajegule is like a ghetto. Going back then, you either choose to be a footballer or a musician or a criminal. So the choice is yours. So going back there was not easy. Go to training, like it's not what we have out here now in outside Nigeria when you have academies that provide everything for you. Back then, you even have to buy. I don't know if some people know what's pure water. You have to buy pure water. You're gonna drink after training. You're gonna even share pure water with people. You have to pay for training dues. You have to pay for so many things. And if you don't have parents that support you, it's not easy. Because I know many footballers that was better than me back then. They stopped halfway. They could not because they don't have parents that supported them. But that's why my mom today, after God in my life today, is my mom. Because I owe everything to God and to my mom. Because she gave me the full support. My mom used to sell pure water and drinks, then Coca-Cola, Fanta, and all that in a small store outside my father's house in Najegula. With all the gains and little profit from that, he will use it to buy football shoes for me. He will use it to give me money for training deals. He will use it to pay for some things. Sometimes I will cry and cry and cry and cry. He will do that for me. That's why I don't joke with my mom. From that to training, going to school, coming back from secondary school, then and when I come back, I don't do my homework. I'll go to play football. When I come back, my dad will spank me and say, "Oh, you've not done your homework and all that." Sometimes, yeah, my mom we were having an argument, saying, "Don't beat him. You want to play football and all that." So from then, I got invited. No, we had like a friendly game. We play from different teams. So and I went to Abeokuta to play. My team in Ajegule went to Abeokuta to play with Julius Berger. Then the coach of Julius Berger back then is Coach Fatai Amao. He now scouted me and said I should remain and now registered me in the junior team of Julius Berger. That's when I started. And a scout came to Nigeria to watch me play. Then I went on trials to Norway. I signed in Norway. I played only 1 year in Norway. From Norway, I moved to Italy. I played one year there. I moved to Spain. I played 1 year in Spain. I moved back to Italy on loan to play. Then from there, I went back to Spain. I played 4 years in Spain again. Then from there, I went to England to Watford. I played 3 years there. From there, England, I went to China. I played 3 years in China. From China, I went to Manchester United. I played 1 year in Manchester United. Now I'm in Saudi Arabia. The journey has not been easy, but when you put God first and you stay true to what you're doing, I think everything in life is achievable. You work hard, you pray, remain humble, and just be truthful to yourself, whatever you're doing, because some people get carried away along the line, when success and fame come, some people go crazy because one thing that is disturbing the young ones coming up today, mostly footballers, is the success and the fame. You understand? When they get money, when they get fame, they become disrespectful. They are not humble anymore. They don't stick to the winning formula that took them to where they are. They started misbehaving and do all sort of things. Though we're not perfect, but when you keep to the formula that brought you to where you are, you stick to it, you will always attain success. So I'm here to just encourage anyone in no matter field you find yourself. Remain humble, believe in yourself, work hard, and most especially put God first, because without God, everything is impossible. But with God, all things are possible.
Career path with us. That was a beautiful one, really beautiful one. So, what is the greatest challenge you ever faced in your career, and how did you overcome it?
Well, I would say the greatest challenge in my career is, when you leave Nigeria, you go outside to do trials. You see some of these guys out there, you're better than them, but you have to do like 5 times what they are doing for you to get a contract. It's not easy. You understand? Those are one of the challenges. You have to work hard, you have to do times 5 of what people are doing, and leaving family back. I remember when I went to Norway. Imagine Nigeria then was 35 degrees and all that. Then I traveled to Norway, it was -10, -20 degrees with 10-meter snows. This Ajegule boy coming from Ajegule all the way to Norway with so much cold and 10 meters snow. I've not seen snow in my life before. That was the first time seeing snow. It was crazy. It was a great challenge. I remember many footballers that came there, they went back to Nigeria because they could not. It was difficult. It was difficult for them because, hold on, 1 minute, please.
So I have my co-host here. I have my co-host here. I think they have some questions. So let me take Shay. Ayo, sorry, Ayo.
Thank you very much for your for being here. I wanted to ask, how did you balance football and being a teenager?
Okay.
Well, it was not easy. Like I said, we young guys, we get carried away with success. So I think I was a bit grounded before I left, because then my late sister used to talk to me, used to advise me, used to spank me when I do anything wrong and all that. So I used the same method and tried to to balance it when I went there. Even I remember when I was going there, my mom said, "You are going there now to you are going outside this country now to go and achieve your aim. You have to be humble, you have to work hard. Don't come back to Nigeria without you signing, without you getting a contract, because you see where you are living from now. You see how many of us is sleeping in this 1 bedroom, this 2 bedroom. Please, whatever it takes to attain success, you go there." So I was being groomed. Even with my age then, I just completed 18, but I started feeling matured, feeling responsible. I had responsibility in my hand to take care of myself. I'm going there alone, without no family, without nobody, you know. So I think then I realized now everything is in my hand. So you are young, I'm a teenager, then whatever you decide, whatever you do now, we either make you or mar your life. So then I had to manage it well with my career and being a teenager. And I thank God everything worked out well today, you know.
Okay, thank you. So question for Mr. Igalo.
Okay, sir. Sir, is there anything you did exceptionally well as a teenager that paved way for your career?
I won't say anything. I'll just say this: the grace of God. You understand? Because so many people have done even some things better than what I've not done. They've not attained or achieved this success today in my life. I've achieved in my life. You know, I would say it's just God. But all I try to do from date till now, I just try to work hard, put God first, and remain humble, no matter what success I achieve. You know, sometimes with youthful exuberance, you know, you want to get carried away. You know, it happened to me sometimes. You want to go crazy and all that, but I remind myself. Sometimes I pinch myself. No, this is not you. You know, stick to the winning formula. Remain humble. Remain quiet. Always listening advice from people. Don't talk much. Work hard. Focus and believe in yourself. So I think that has really worked for me till now. Even sometimes when I go back home, if those young boys sees the way I train at home with my trainer and all that, they say, Igalo, now what for? You still they train like this? Like say you want to go sign new club and all that. You've been playing for how many years? Maybe we go. I said, because for me, I've not achieved anything yet, you know. So I still keep that thing in my head that I have not achieved nothing yet. So it makes me grind more.
One more question from you.
So what will you say to parents whose children want to have a career in football, but they don't support them?
Well, I know it's difficult, you know, because for me, if my mom did not supported me back then, I don't know where I would have been today, you know. Like I said, my mom, after God in my life, is my mom, you know. Sacrificed a lot for me. Even had issues with my dad back then because of me. That's why I don't joke with my mom. People call me mommy's boy. I don't care, but my mom is my life. So I just want to advise them. You understand? They should not be too hard or tough on their kids. Just give them support, you know, because nobody knows the career. Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. So if they can give them the support financially, morally, emotionally, whatever support they can give their kids, I just advise them to give their kids, because you don't know what they're going to become tomorrow in any field they find themselves, not only football, you know, but whatever they choose. Give them the support, be there for them, and pray for them.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So next question.
Sir, so what will you say to children that want to play football but they don't have enough facilities to play football?
Yeah, especially the developing part here.
It's difficult, you know. Like me, I'm building an academy in Ekpe now. You understand? Because it's kind of a way of giving back, you know. Because when I was growing up, I didn't have academy back in Lagos. Like I said, I had to pay for my boots. I had to pay for what I drink. I had to pay for so many things. You understand? But this academy, I have boys there, 30 boys, which they are living in a rented duplex I am paying for. I bought a bus that take them training, feeding. They have chef that is feeding them. I have DSTV they're watching. I have football shoes. I have jerseys and everything. I did outside when I was playing in China. Even till now, I sponsor them and all that. You know, it's difficult. Let me tell you, in Nigeria, I say, it's difficult. Not to talk of in Lagos or anywhere to see an academy that will give you everything with what you have. You understand? Do with what you have. play in whatever area you are, and hopefully the right scout will scout you, will see you, and all that. Like, I have people that is scouting all over Nigeria, because one of my guy that's taking care of my academy, he went to East a few days ago, and he was going to see players. He saw one boy and all that, which he will be coming to Lagos in few days' time to join my academy. You understand? That's how we do, So luckily, you might get picked, and maybe from there your luck will shine. That's why I'm just going to advise them, because Nigeria now is very difficult to see academy that will take care of you and provide everything for you.
Okay. Thank you for that. I just have a quick question following up with what Ayo just asked. To the teenager whose parents is insisting that they must not go in the line of football, what will you tell that teenager listening right now?
I will advise them to disobey their mom. But do they have any other thing they focus on that they want to do? What their mom want them to do? Like, it's a very difficult one, you understand? Because I know my father then, earlier stage, in this supported me, because he wanted me to go to school. Because my other siblings were going to school after they finished, they want to go to university and all that. He wanted me to do the same. But me, I know it's not for me, you understand? So I choose football. And I had my mom that gives me the 100% support and gave me the money and all that. But this teenager, if they don't have who supported them, some dreams die like that. Like I said, when I was growing up, I had so many footballers that is 10 times better than me. But they're still back there in Ajegule doing nothing. Because why? They did not have the mom or dad or anybody that supported them, that give them money to buy football boots, to buy water, to pay for training dues, to travel when the team need to travel to different states to go play, for scout to watch them and all that. So they end up there, So it's very difficult one, you understand? So anyone that don't have the support, I don't know what to say. Just pray to God for them to have the support, or the parents that will support them, or somebody outside will just see them playing and pick interest in them, that they are doing well, and sponsor them.
Okay, thank you. Shiri, so you have a question?
Sir, so what are the necessary steps to take to become a footballer from childhood?
Necessary.
Teenagehood?
Yeah, like, I will use myself as an example. I started playing from primary school, secondary school. Then after secondary school, I joined a club in my area there in Ajegule to start training with them, training. Then from there, scout come once in a while to watch you play and all that. Then from there, you go to different states to play friendly game. Then when you get lucky, you get picked. That is how it was done then. And now scout go to different places to pick players and all that. So I think my own advice is just for you to start wherever area you are, register in a football club, training with them and all that. Then hopefully you'll see scouts coming to watch player that is good and all that. If you're good standard, of course you get picked, because the scout that came, they want to make money. You yourself, you want to travel out to go make money and take care of your family. So that's it.
Regarding your academy, I know he loves football, so Shay.
So sir, how do we access your academy? How do we get to join your academy? What do we do?
Yeah, they have we have like a Instagram page. So all you do is send message to them. They check the messages every time. When I check the messages, you have to send your profile to them and all that. They're gonna go through it and all that. Then they can invite you if they check your profile, where you've played and all that, background and all that. So they invite you for trials to try to train. If you're good enough, then they'll keep you. You start training with the people that is there and waiting for opportunity to come.
You didn't tell us the handle, sir. Please, what's the handle so that our teenagers can have it?
So what? Hello?
Hello, the Instagram handle. Can we have the Instagram handle of your academy so that we can reach out to you?
Igalo Academy.
Igalo Academy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's great. To our teenagers out there who love football, Shay, you heard it now, Igalo Academy. So just send your profile, your details
Short videos.
to them on DM them on Instagram, and they'll reach out to you. Any other question, Ayu?
No.
She's not a football person. She's just like, what am I doing here? But it's all good. Thank you so much, Mr. Gallo. Thank you so much. But just to wrap up, what's that final word you like to give us, like a take home? Like, what should we go home with now? Like, let's just wrap this up.
Yeah, I just want to advise the young ones that is coming up. You work hard, you pray, believe in yourself, and be humble. No matter what success you attain in life, be humble, because before you are where you are, some people have been there. And after you, there's still going to be people that is going to be there. So don't get carried away with success. Don't get carried away with anything in life. Just be focused, work hard, pray, believe in God, be humble. Think the sky is the limit. And by God's grace, I'm going to see you guys up there doing good, and we're going to see in peace.
Important question that came in. Some of our teenagers said their parents don't allow them to access social media or Instagram. Is there any other way to access your academy without being on Instagram?
That means I have to get the contact of the guy in charge there, you understand? Because it's only my peer that always tell me what's going on there and all that. I don't have the contact of this. So I have to get the contact and pass it through the same person you guys contacted me with, and we'll take it from there.
To all the teenagers out there, maybe your parents don't allow you to be on Instagram, just talk to them, talk to your guidance, your parents. They could help you reach out on Instagram. So thank you once again, Igalo. Thank you guys for your wonderful questions. Smile now. Yeah, to all the guys at Life Center, thank you for being here. So once again, Mr. Gallo, we say a big thank you to you. Do have a great day. You look good, by the way. You look like a very fit, and we hope to see more goals from you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, bye. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. All right, so if you're on the Life Center, you want to ask questions, please drop your questions to our various representatives, and we will get them right here. And to all those online as well, keep dropping those comments and questions. We will draft them to him, and he will surely answer your questions. So, but please take advantage of the academy if you love football and you have friends who love football. So we'll be right back. But before that, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Focus Counseling with a double L. And on YouTube is one L, Focus Counseling. So log on to Instagram, join us, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, so that you can also watch these subsequent videos and previous videos, and you don't have to miss anything. So once again, we'll be right back. I will go on a short break. Not just me, everybody will be right back. Okay, well, just give us like 15 minutes, stretch your leg, take breakfast, take water, and we'll be right back.
special. And yes, I am a star. Infinite potentials. I'll be what I can be. I have a voice and I will always speak the truth. I made a choice to stand out and take the world. I'm a child. I live today. I take responsibility for whatever I do. I have a voice and I will always speak the truth. I made a choice to stand out and take the world. I'm a child. I live today. I take responsibility for whatever I do. I am bold, and yes, I'm strong and wise. I am intelligent, I'm free to fly so high. I know my worth, I think before I act. I'm joyful and peaceful, I stand up for my right. I have a voice, and I will always speak the truth. I made a choice to stand out and take the world. I'm a child, I live today. I take responsibility for whatever I do. I show up, I stand out. I have a future, the future is in me. I show up and stand out. I have a future, the future is in me. I have a voice and I will always speak the truth. I made a choice to stand out and take the world. I'm a child, I live today. I take responsibility for whatever I do.
I'm a child, I'm confident, I'm prominent. You can't abuse me. I said it last time, I'll say it again. We're moving up pick up the pace, we're changing our nation, it starts today. They say we are leaders tomorrow, I tell them your bros, we are leaders today. Yeah, how they say, parents they clean up your room every day. AC, try not to fail. Parents are short that we do anyway. It feels real tough to pick up the pace, but we got to try hard as resilient they stay there. We do wrong, we take the prize. We do right, we take the prize. Give a shout out, we are proud to be a child.
I have a voice and I will always speak the truth. I made a choice to stand out and take the world. I'm a child, I live today. I take responsibility for whatever I do. The future is in me. Oh, the future is in me. I have a voice and I will always
Hi guys, welcome back. So, I hope you guys have stretched your legs, moved around, and ready for the last session for today. And my guys are still here. Shay, Ayo, say hi.
Hi.
Hi guys.
So they are still here repping you guys. For the third and last speaker for today, we have Mrs. Omawumi Agumbiade. I believe she's in the studio right now, ready to plug in. So let me just run a quick on her profile. Mrs. Omawumi Agumbiade is a dynamic child development professional with an international diploma certification in early childhood Montessori education from the Montessori Center International, London. Having over 20 years of professional experience in early childhood education, Mrs. Omawumi Agumbiade's passion is to promote quality and excellence in early childhood care and education. She will be discussing today on the topic importance of building healthy relationships. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, join me in welcome Mrs. Omawumi Agumbiade. Hello, ma. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I love your voice this
Can
morning.
you hear me?
Yes, ma, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, nice to meet
Good
you.
morning. Good morning, everyone in the studio. And you?
So please walk us down the process of building healthy relationships.
All right. Before I comment, I want to say a very big thank you to FOCAD. Celebrate the great work that you're doing with the young ones around us. There's no better time to focus on the young children, the teenagers, the young adults, I will call them. There's no better time to work with them than now. And for a while, we've been able to follow up with what FOCAD is doing with the young ones, working with several schools, public schools, and even private schools in Lagos. And I deeply, deeply commend the team and the leader of this company. We pray that would continue to do much more, even for the growth and development of the young ones around us. So it's a privilege to be here and to be part of the program this year. And basically, I've been asked to talk about building healthy relationships as teenagers and as young adults. And when we talk about relationship, basically I would be discussing this topic, just focusing on three major outlines, very short outlines, because I know it's a loaded program and we've had a long session. Mine is the last, so I wouldn't want to keep us for too long, but we'll just look at what a relationship is, what is the purpose of a relationship, or what's the purpose of relationship that we engage in, and how can we ensure that we build a healthy relationship. So everything I'm going to say will be around these three major, short major outlines. So what is a relationship? If you look at the dictionary definition, it says a relationship is a state involving mutual dealing between people. So in other words, when you talk about relationship, it talks about people, it talks about different individuals, and we have different kind of relationships. We have family relationship, we have business relationship, we have workplace relationship. We also do have romantic relationships. So in every step of the way as humans, we are in one relationship or the other. And when we're talking about the young ones they are our focus for this program, you will find that one way or the other, they are involved in the different form of relationship. They're either in a family unit, or for the first time, a lot of them are leaving the family units. They're going outside the family unit, And so they are now engaging into relationship outside the immediate family. They have, some of them are in colleges, some of them are going into uni, they're in university. So they're going to be encountering new relationships they have not been used to. And in this process, some of them will begin to develop romantic relationships. So when we talk about relationship in human being, it is actually very vital. We cannot do without it. So relationship is a state that involves mutual dealing between people, between different individuals. And also another dictionary means it is a state of being related. It's a state of being related by kindred, by affinity, or other alliance. So you call it, when you talk about relationship, inside of the word relationship, we have relate. And to relate is to be in mutual dealing with one or two other people. So as we discuss building healthy relationship, I want to now go to the next outline, which is what really is the purpose of relationship? Why do we talk about relationship? I mentioned when I started to talk about defining what relationship is. The truth is, the way we are wired as humans, it's almost impossible, and that's the way to put it, really. Some people feel, these days we hear people say, oh, I like being by myself. I like being by myself. I don't like people. I can cope by myself. The truth is, such individuals who say, I like being by myself, one way or the other, they're having some form of relationship. And you find that this kind of individuals, they're either engaged online. So even if they're not having direct relationship with people, somehow, some way, they are connecting with other people. Maybe before the end of short talk, I will talk about that other angle. That's the social media aspect. But you find that the way we are wired as humans, we're wired to relate with one another. I do not know, I'm sure amongst us we have Christians, we have Muslims. I don't know too much about the Quran, but I'm sure that what I'm about to say would also be in the Quran for those who are Muslims. I know that the Bible says that when God created Adam, he had different animals with him. There were different animals. He also named them. But after a while, God looked at Adam and said, it is not good that a man should be alone. And the truth here is, the word man there is not just talking about the man as in the gender, but it's the human. It is not good that any human be alone. So the way we are wired, and so God decided to create a helper, somebody that would relate with Adam, because that's how we're wired as human beings. We're wired to relate with other people. So the purpose of, there are so many purposes that I put down here, and I'm going to just say them quickly one after the other. One of the purposes of relationship is that it increases our emotional well-being. It increases our emotional well-being. Emotional well-being, our emotion is the way we feel. Our emotional well-being affects us mentally, affects us psychologically. When you have people who are alone for so long, of course, it leads to loneliness. And when it leads to loneliness, it begins to affect emotionally, and it can affect the well-being of that individual emotionally. So having a relationship, and the reason why we're talking about healthy is it's possible to have a relationship, but it's unhealthy. And so our focus is we want to ensure that we have a relationship, because that's how we're wired as human beings, to have a relationship. But at the same time, we want to ensure there are relationships that are not toxic. They are the relationships that are beneficial. They are relationships that would do well for us, but rather not take us down. So number one point, the purpose of relationship is that it increases our emotional well-being. When we're in a healthy relationship, it makes us find ourselves. It makes us, when you enjoy somebody's company, or the relationship you're having is helping you with your growth and development in life, it helps you mentally, helps you emotionally, helps you to become a better person. It helps your self-esteem. And when your self-esteem is built positively, definitely that individual will be a better person. So having a healthy relationship actually helps birth the better part of you, makes you become a better individual, makes you become what you are actually wired to become. Secondly, what's the purpose of a healthy relationship? Every human being will always need someone to count on in times of need. Every human being. That's how we're wired. In fact, because I work with young children, we've done a lot of observation with little children. You find that children grow and they experience holistic growth and development when they're in an environment where there is a healthy relationship. When we say healthy relationship, the adults, the people around the young child bond with the child properly, communicate with the child properly. There is a serve and return. And what do we mean by serve and return? You see that as young children begin to grow, they begin to communicate and relate with the people around them. As they are relating with the individual where they laugh, they play, or they cry, and you carry them, you dance with them, that child begins to blossom. That child begins to grow. You begin to see a happy child. You see a child as something we call secure attachment. You see a child that develops secure attachment because the child is secure around the people because there's a healthy relationship going on. So every human being will always need someone to count on in times of need. When a young child is crying and there's somebody there to listen to the child, find out why the child is crying. Is the child hungry? Is the child's diaper wet? Do I need to change the child's diaper? Maybe the child doesn't need a hug and the child doesn't need me. Sometimes the child may just be scared. Sometimes you could have a loud noise around and the child startled. The moment an adult comes and hugs the child is happy. And all these things they are around the different hormones in our body, the different hormones that respond to different needs in the human body. So when you have healthy relationships that can answer to those needs in the times of pain, in the times of loneliness, in the times of you just need someone to talk to when you are down, every human being needs such relationship. So I need to quickly say here, because you find that it's very common these days with young children, with young adults. Let me use the word young adult, teenagers and those who are going into the youthful stage. We hear them say stuff, oh, I can be by myself. I do not need anybody around me. I'm okay. But the truth of the matter is most of these young ones are in their rooms or in their corner with the phone, they're on social media, and oftentimes, not all the time, there are content on social media that are very beneficial, but it takes a lot of discipline and intention to be able to decipher, to be able to separate between the genuine and the real. And you find that the larger percentage of what is on social media, they're not actually real. And when you have individuals who do not have people they can rely on, they don't have a healthy relationship, but they can share their feelings and what they're going through. They fall into this social media world, it could actually be very dangerous. So it is very important for the young ones, as we're talking to the teenagers, those who are listening to me, it's important that we intentionally work towards developing healthy relationship, because we need this at one point or the other of our lives. We always need humans beings, we need people. Not everybody is bad. People will say everybody is bad, not everybody is good. I used to say something. When you look for something and you're searching for something, you want something to answer for you. You also could be that thing that you're searching for. So you're saying, oh, everybody is bad. You actually need to look inward and look at yourself. What am I to other people around me? Why does it seem that everybody around me is unfriendly? Am I really friendly? These are some of the things we need to consider as we look at the fact that the point where I said every human will always need somebody to count on in times of need. So that's another purpose why we need healthy relationships. And thirdly, relationship helps us have connection to our true selves. Relationships help us have connection to our true self. The truth is, when you do not relate with other people, you tend not to discover yourself. You won't discover who you really are, because it's in relating with people that you get to know the kind of temperament that you have. You get to know how patient you are. You get to know if you can love people unconditionally. Because you meet different kind of individuals. You have people who are not like you. You have people who are mean. You have people who are lovely. How are you able to relate with people? How are you able to work with people? Initially when I started to define what relationship is, or the different kind of relationship, I talk about business, family, workplace, school, and all that. We have different kind of individuals around us with different kind of temperament. If we do not relate with them, we cannot actually connect with our own selves. Because it's in relating with them that you get to know, am I short-tempered? Am I patient enough? How quickly do people get me angry? How quickly do I shed tears? How am I able to face people who are bullies? How am I? You just connect with yourself, and it actually helps you to work on yourself. Because when you discover that you are not an assertive person, people come to you and they're always asking stuff from you, and you do not know how to say no. Oftentimes you find that you always focus on other people, you don't focus on yourself. It actually can be very dangerous as you grow in life. But as you meet people, you tend to see some of these shortfalls, and it helps you to work on yourself. It helps you to work on your self-growth. It helps you to work on your self-development. When you stay by yourself and you don't want to be in any relationship with anyone, it actually, at the end of the day, may not be healthy for you as an individual, because you do not get to know yourself. You can't get to know yourself by sitting by yourself. I think I need to say that again. That's nice. It sounds nice. You can't get to know yourself by sitting alone by yourself or being friendly with yourself. So you need people around you to get you to know yourself. So in establishing healthy relationship, following these three purposes that I just mentioned, you need to ask yourself these questions. Because now we're going into the third and the final aspect as we try to round up. Now that we know what the purpose of relationship is, as we establish healthy relationship, what are some of the questions we need to ask ourselves as young adults? And what I'm discussing with you, even with us who are still growing, adults, growing in our lives, we are entering into different kind of relationship. It all applies to us. It applies to me, it applies to you. The questions are, why am I in this relationship? You need to ask yourself that question, because now we're moving into how do we build healthy relationship? Why are you in that relationship? That's your friend in school, the one you call your BFF. Why are you in that relationship? What's the purpose for that relationship? What's that relationship doing to you? What are you seeking for? That's the second question. What are you seeking for in that relationship? What am I seeking for in this business relationship that I am present? What are you seeking for in that tutorial relationship that you're in presently? As a student, maybe you need to have a study group together. What are you seeking for? Why did you seek for this individual? I said, I want you to be my friend. I think I like you and you're my friend. What are you in that relationship for? The third question you need to ask yourself is, where is this relationship leading me to? What is this relationship leading to? And I need to quickly say this because I know that I'm talking to teenagers. Some of us are already developing romantic relationships. Some as early as 14, some as 13, you start to have a crush. Some of us, yes, we're 17, 18, and we're getting ready to start to date. You need to ask yourself, why am I going into this relationship? What am I seeking for in this relationship? Where is this relationship going to take me to? I mean, where is it taking me to? You also need to ask yourself, what is this relationship doing to me? a very vital question that we need to ask. What's this relationship doing to me? Is it making me a better person? Am I becoming a better version of myself? Or suddenly have I discovered that I am not who I used to be last year? I am worse than I was last year. We need to check what that relationship is doing to us. What is it doing to you? You started that relationship some 3 months ago. If you look at your lives 1 year ago, compared to that relationship you started 3 months ago, who are you becoming? What is it doing to you? You need to answer these questions critically and truthfully, and be true to yourself. And lastly, the question as we move on to talk about how to develop a healthy relationship. Is this relationship adding to me, or is it taking away from me? I pause a little bit to get you to get that question properly. Is this relationship adding to me, or is it taking away from me? Is it adding values to me, or is it actually taking away my values? Is it making me less of who I used to be some few months or few years ago? Very critical question that we need to do. Now, all these questions, I've decided to bring them up so you can write them down and answer yourself. After this session, you can take time to sit down and ask yourself, in all my relationships that I'm in presently, my relationship in the school, maybe peradventure you are already commenced dating, my relationship with my family, with my siblings, with my friends, the people around my community. Put down this question and answer them truthfully to yourself. Nobody's there, nobody's going to mark it for you. It's not JAM, it's not WAEC. It is just for you. And the questions are: number one, why am I in this relationship? Number two, what am I seeking for in this relationship? Number three, where is this relationship leading me? Number four, what is this relationship doing to me? And then number five, is this relationship adding to me, or is it taking away from me? So in other words, is there an addition, good addition? So because there can be some kind of addition that could be dangerous. We'll talk about that in the jiffy. Or is it taking away? Is it taking away the good and adding what is not good for my life, for my own goal? Or is it taking away the good that I already have? Please do well to take some time, sit on this, and answer them truthfully to yourself. And when you answer, ensure you do the needful. Because like I said, as I started, it is important for us as we build healthy relationships to be able to know that those relationships are actually adding to our growth and development, helping us to achieve our goals, and helping us to be a better version of ourselves. Right, so very quickly, as I discussed the last outline, how to build healthy relationships, I will just focus on three major points under this, just three major essentials. Number one, I will talk about support, how support is very important in building healthy relationships. I'll talk about respect, how respect is very important in building healthy relationships. And finally, I will talk about boundaries in building healthy relations. There are quite a whole lot of other points we could come up with, but for the purpose of this short program, we just focus on these three very quickly. So when we talk about healthy relationships, number one, support is absolutely very important. We need to ask ourselves, I need to ask myself, you need to ask yourself, how supportive is your relationship? How supportive is your relationship? So talking about this support, I want to use an illustration, or use this, illustration. When you're building, I don't know if you've ever experienced, I'm not very good with building. I actually don't like to see witness construction. I enjoy it when the house is completed and then I move it. I see the beauty. But while it's going on, I don't like it. But in my little observation, I've noticed that when we're building a house, oftentimes there's some points of the building during the construction that are called the pillars. The pillars are meant to support the frames of the building. They are meant to support the building to stand firm. So you find that there's some areas where they will use concrete, that's what they call them, the kind of cement and sand and gravel that they mix together to make that place stand properly, so that the building maybe is the roof that will be on top, or there's going to be another decking as the building is going up, or maybe is the lintel where the window will be. The frame that will be the support, the pillars that are placed on in those areas are actually meant to support the building. And why is it supporting the building? So that the building will not collapse, so that there will not be some form of dysfunction along the way as the building is going up or the construction is ongoing. That's how relationship actually should be. In every relationship, we stand together to support one another. We stand to support one another because every individual, and we'll talk about this later when I start to talk about boundaries, but I can mention it now. Every individual in life should have values. You should have values for your life. You should have some things that define who you are. There's some things that you do not do because of who you want to become or who you are aiming to become. And when you find yourself in relationships, those relationships should be, there should be some form of support system that will help you and take you to where you're going. So the question is, that relationship that you're into, to develop healthy relationship, you must ensure that you receive the correct support to make you be who you want to be, or who you desire to be, or who you have proposed to be. The question is, do you get that support from the relationship you are in presently? Do you get that support that is leading you to healthy growth and development? Now, let me give you a typical example. As we are young, and I want to use the example of young people around us. You have a goal, you have a desire. Let me use the example of my daughter. While she was growing, she was still in secondary school. And I want to believe that I kind of had that influence on her. I remember she was still 3 years old. I run a school. She was 3 years old. They were in class. It was a nursery class. And the teacher asked them, what would you like to be when you grow up? Everybody, you know what children will say. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer, and all those fancy kind of profession. But my daughter said, I want to be a mommy. They all laughed, like, excuse me, why would you say you want to be a mommy? She said, yes, I want to be a mommy. And she said, yes, my mommy is a mommy. She has a school, she's a teacher, and she has money. Well, I'm sure because I always buy all the biscuits and sweets for her, so that's money then. But anyway, she grew up, we actually thought it was just a child's talk. But as she was growing up until when she was in secondary school, final year, she still said she wanted to be a teacher. So her saying she wanted to be a mommy when she was 3 years old, she was referring to what I was doing as a teacher. And I remember this typical example I want to share with us. She went to her friend's house one day in our estate where we lived. And she came back and said, Mommy, is there anything wrong with me saying I want to be a teacher? I said, no, there's nothing wrong with that. So and so said to me, don't say that. Don't say you want to be a teacher. And then she said, say you want to be a child psychologist or something. I said, Mommy, what does that mean? So I said to her what it meant. I said, well, I don't care. All I want to say is that I want to be a teacher. Now, what she was getting from that relationship, there was no strong support. They sat down together to say, this is what we want to be as we grow up. And the girl was telling her she wants to be a medical doctor. And she said, I want to be a teacher. And she's telling her, no, it's not nice to say you want to be a teacher. Like, being a teacher is not it. Why would you want to be a teacher? But that's all she wanted to be. Now, I stand here to say to you, because she was able to get the right support from the family unit. Today, she's a teacher. She finished her program as an early childhood educator, and she's working in a school in the UK as a teacher in a nursery school, and she's enjoying what she's doing. This is what she's always wanted to be for so many years now. So that's one example of being in a relationship where you get the support. When your friend knows who you want to be, or what you want to become, or what you are aiming at, what kind of support are they giving you? If you're in a relationship and you have friends and you say, oh, I want to ensure that I want to finish my program with first class. I want to have my first class. I want to ensure I have 4.5 or 4.9 GPA. And they're telling you, I beg. Don't bother yourself. All the people that have first class, where are they today? And they make you feel like you are just stressing yourself. That support, that relationship is not healthy for you, because it's not giving you the support that you need. So you need to beware of such relationship. Are you experiencing support that is making you a better version of yourself? The present relationship you are in, is it driving you to become better? Is it driving you to learn more? Looking at your friends, are they actually helping you to do more and become more in whatever it is that you choose to become, whatever profession, whatever it is? You want to be a footballer, you want to be an entertainer, whatever it is you want to be, you want to be a music artist. Are they actually supporting you to become that? You need to ensure that the relationship is giving you that support. If it's not, then that relationship is not meant for you. If the relationship makes you see less of yourself, is always speaking on what is the weakness and not helping you to work on that weakness to become better, then you have no need of that relationship. You need to look for elsewhere where you can get the support that you need. If you are breaking down and you're worse than you started in that relationship, then there is no support in it. You need to walk away, take a walk. Like they say, you need to get out of there, get out of there. If it's breaking you down and you are worse or you are less than you were when you entered into that relationship, please take a walk. You don't need that. Number 2, respect. Respect, very important in building healthy relationships. Does the relationship respect your views? Does it respect what you stand for? And that's what I talked about when I talked about values. You have values, you run after excellence, you are resilient, you are respectful, you are goal-oriented. Those are your values. And then you are with people who don't have any such values. They're going to kill your values. And they don't respect it. You know, when you say it, and they tend to just beat it down like, this, what is it? Don't stress me, Daddy. They do not respect your values. You don't need to be in that relationship. It will slow you down and it will not help you achieve your purpose. Are you considered valuable in that relationship? When you are not considered valuable, then there's disrespect. There's disrespect. When your views are not considered in that relationship, there's disrespect. Are you being controlled or given a fair chance in that relationship? Then there's disrespect. That relationship will actually kill you rather than make you become who you are meant to be. You need to take a walk. If your ideas, if your thoughts, if your contribution is not considered important in that relationship, then it is being disrespectful to you, who you are, on who you are meant to be. Please take a walk, or take a break, or take a pause, and seek for the relationship that will respect you for who you are. We all don't have it all perfect put together. So one way or the other, we can be failing in one area, but we always have our strong areas. So when you are in a relationship where you are only being picked upon when it comes to your weaknesses and your strength is not being identified, it's a very disrespectful relationship. Please take a walk. You see, these things I'm sharing with you, they're not just going to be useful to you for now. Like I said to you, we are all in one relationship. So we need this point for the rest of our lives. It applies to every form of relationship, marital relationship, romantic relationship, you are dating, you are in one relationship, platonic relationship, family relationship, all these points matters. Please don't remain in a relationship where you are being disrespected. And don't forget what I said earlier. You also need to respect. So you don't seek for what you don't have. That's the truth. And what you do not have, you cannot give. So when you seek to be respected in a relationship, you also need to be that. You need to respect people, respect their views. Sometimes, most times, not even sometimes, yes, sometimes, oftentimes, people's views may not be your views because we all have different perspectives. Sometimes they may be wrong based on your own perspective, but on their perspective, they may be right. So if really you now want to bring out some point from it because you want to help that relationship, you need to know how to say it respectfully. Because some of the times, the reason why people do not listen to us is because we want to tell people the truth, but we tell them disrespectfully. Is there a word like that, disrespectfully? Yes, I think so. If not, that's my English. Anyways, tell people the truth respectfully. Tell them the truth respectfully. Respect them. So when you're in a relationship where you're not being respected, then that relationship is not healthy. Please take a walk and help yourself for growth. Now, the last point as we quickly try to round up. Boundaries. Boundaries is very key. Boundaries very key in any relationship. You need to know where to draw the line in the relationship without being rude, without being nasty, without being a bully. You can set boundaries with love. You can set boundary respectfully. Boundaries, what are boundaries? Boundaries shows the offer of respect in your relationship. So where there are no boundaries, there's bound to be disrespect. So that's why it's important for you to set boundaries. When I was growing up with my friends, we used to sit down and talk about ourselves. So can you tell me the things that I do that you do not like? And we tell ourselves. That way we're drawing boundaries. And you say, look, this is who I am. This is the way I like to be. This is this. And sometimes you just find that what you actually desire may not be what that person can give you. And then you are able to sit down and analyze it and say, look, can we talk about this again? And see how we can ensure that there's respect in this relationship. So boundaries are limits that you put in place to protect your well-being. Remember when I started and we defined what relationship is, we said it helps your emotional well-being. So if you want to develop healthy relationship, emotional well-being, you must have boundaries. This is specifically about you and for you. Very important. Boundaries is specifically for you and about you. And it is not about being selfish. Because you see, oftentimes the reason why a lot of people break down in relationships, the reason why people have unhealthy relationships is we focus more on other people and don't focus about yourself. Now, I'm sure maybe this will also be in the Quran, but it is in the Bible. It says, love your neighbor as yourself. So I would say, love your friend as yourself. If you don't love yourself first, you can't love anyone. That's the truth. If you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone. So you set boundaries for you, and also it is about you because you want to take care about your well-being. If your well-being is not taken care of, then you can have a mutual healthy relationship. If you're always just giving and giving and giving into the relationship, and you're not getting back what you want, then it will affect your well-being. And I tell you, a lot of people are suffering in this. And as an early years educator, this is what I try to do with parents. A lot of parents, unfortunately, the culture where we grew up in, I also encountered it. You find that sometimes when you say this, they tell you it's Uyibo culture. There's nothing Uyibo about it. I say to them, that's why we say in early childhood that a child, by the time a child is 6 years old, 95 or 85% of who is meant to be in life is already formed. Of who is meant, Maria Montessori calls a young child a man in a small body. So you will find that when I tell parents that when parents desire so much from their children, we do it because we feel children don't have any feeling, or they're just there, they're empty. Not knowing that when we demand so much from them and we do not allow the children to also get what they want for themselves, without being permissive, without being just allowing children have their way, we can actually destroy that individual. So that's why you find a lot of young children grow up as an adult to have dysfunctional behavior because emotionally they've been traumatized. Because in every relationship, either as a child or as an adult, we always also have to think about our own well-being. So when you draw up boundaries in building healthy relationships, you are helping yourself. You need to protect yourself in every relationship. The truth is, I wrote something here. The truth is, if you do not look out for yourself, no one will. And that's the truth. Nobody will look out for you. It's not that they are being bad or evil. No, that's just life. And looking out for yourself, I said earlier on, is not about being selfish or self-centered. It is because you want to be able to give the very best to that other person in the relationship. So they also have to give their best to you. And that way, there is a win-win. So you love your friend as yourself. And I said also, you cannot give what you don't have. Boundaries help you respect your own needs in relationship. So finally, so that we can close, finally, what are some examples of boundaries that you can build? Tolerance. Tolerance. So you have to spell out the things that I cannot tolerate. These are the things that can hurt me, and these are the things that can bring me down. Please do not keep bringing this. It's not helping me. Talk about your overall expectations, what you expect in this relationship. These are my goals. These are the things I want to become. For instance, if you are in school and you want to come out with a first class, you have your timetable to read at a particular time. You need to be able to spell it out. I do not have time to think. At this time, I am going to be studying. Either we're studying together or we cannot be friends. Sexual expressions for people that are growing older, young, you need to spell it out. I'm ready to keep myself till I get married. Don't say because other people don't do that. I need to join them. Spell it out so that whoever you're going into the relationship, we know your stance. And if they can't go with that boundary, then they know they need to take a walk. They need to get out of here. Right? Family, you need to also make it known that, look, in this relationship, my family matters. These are the things you can't do to my family. These are the things you can say to my family. I respect my family. I respect your family. You need to respect my family. Goals, important. I mentioned that earlier on. Goals. What are your goals in life? Define it to the people you are in relationship with. So they understand when you do something, you do it for them. And you will not in any way bring that down. And finally, talk about addition. What are the things you need to be added into your life, and what are the things that you do not need? Spell it out so that they will not bring it around you at all. And when you put all this together, you find that as you grow in life, you develop healthy relationships. As you're moving from one relationship to another, to another, to another, to another, you develop healthy relationships. And don't forget what I said. it makes you a better person. You end up becoming who you set up your mind to become in the person. Thank you very much for listening. And I hope that you continue to strive to build a good. Thank you. I can't hear you. Yes, you're speaking. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, is that a question? All right. I don't know if that's a question. Let me quickly answer that. Somebody asked, what do I mean by secure attachment? So secure attachment is a theory, is a development theory developed by some child development theories. And you'll find that people who do not have secure attachment develop codependency. So they are not able to do stuff by themselves, or they always want to please other people to achieve things because they feel that it is by pleasing others that they can be who they want to be. And oftentimes it's traced back to the times that we were young, where you do not, for instance, when children don't receive adequate serve and return process. So very good example is when there is a need and the needs are met, not that you just give it to the child at that time, just to be able to tell the child, don't worry, you are fine, I am here. The reason you are alone at this time is because I need to do something. So for instance, you keep a child needs to do stuff by himself or by herself, and you go to do your own stuff. The moment the child is seeking for your attention, you come back and let the child know, oh, I'm still here. I'm not gone. I'm here. What do you need? Is it what you need? What else do you need? And you give the child what the child needs, and you continue with what you're doing. Psychologically, mentally, it is building that secure attachment in the child. So for example, the way we know that some children have insecure attachment, you have some children who are just attached to specific people. if they see other people, it's normal. Please don't get me wrong. It's normal for young children to get used to some people, but after a while, once a child gets to the stage of secure attachment, they are able to relate with other people. Even when that person that is there, in education, we call them key person. So when the key person is not there, the child can still relate with other people, knowing that my key person will soon come. So often for a child is a mother, or maybe a father, or another child caregiver. But when the child is still growing up and is still not relating with other people except that key person, then there could be some form of insecure attachment that needs to be dealt with. And oftentimes, when it's not taken care of, a young child can grow up as an adult, where you have some adults who are always seeking for a relationship to attach themselves to. They cannot do things by themselves. They are always depending on other people. It's called codependency. So like, oh, I need somebody in my life at this time. And because I'm not in a relationship, I cannot function well. I need to belong to a pair. And these are part of the things that brings about peer pressure. When you see people there, they want to belong and they tell you, come and join us and do this drug and do this substance abuse because you want to belong. Is insecure attachment can lead to such things. So we need to ensure that there is adequate communication, there's adequate attention to the needs of the people around us in the relationship so that they can develop secure attachment. I hope I did answer. I tried some. People don't get to know how people, because of the fear of being damaged. What can you do when this happens? People don't get to know people because of the fear of being damaged. All right. Now the truth is, so there's another question. People don't get to know other people. That's I want to be sure that's what that person asked me. And the reason why they are afraid of relationships because they are afraid of being damaged. Now, when you are secure in yourself, and that's why I talked about boundaries, the moment you are able to develop healthy self-esteem and you are confident in yourself, and confident here is not pride, please don't get it wrong, it's not pride. Even when you know you do not know something, do you know you cannot know something and not know something confident? Then you will not be afraid of being damaged, because that word damage is very strong, it's very big. I don't know how else to call it, but that's why you find that for you to go into relationship, you know, I mentioned earlier on, you can't give what you do not have. You need to love yourself first. And when you love yourself, you will not be afraid of being damaged. Who will damage you? One of my mentors used to say, you are the one that will, it's not about the wind that comes on the sea. You are the one in charge of the sailing of the ship. Because the waves will always come. You can't stop the waves. You don't even know when the waves will come. It will come when you're on the sea to come. But it is in your own space to sail your ship yourself. You are the one that owns yourself. So you'll be able to walk around. The human beings will still be human beings. People will be who they are. But you need to walk around how to relate with people. So it is important for you to work on yourself first before you go into this. I hope because I can't hear you. I'm going to
Yes. I guess you can hear me now.
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you so much, man. In
All
fact,
right.
I would have loved you to continue on and on, but we're on a tight schedule on time. So we thank you so much. By the way, I love your YouTube channel as well. Great content on your YouTube channel. I saw you in one of the videos. Thank you so much. One last word so that we can wrap up. Something we can just a take-home assignment. I know you've given us a list already, which I will still try to summarize, but just a word from you.
Okay, really, one word I want to say is love yourself. That's one major problem we have today. I work with young adults too, and truly, honestly, looking for healthy relationships starts from you. Start with yourself. I do a lot of self-reflection. Take time with yourself and self-examine yourself and detox your own self. There are a lot of issues that we have with our own selves that actually create blocks and will not allow us build healthy relationships. So my parting words are, please work on yourself. Discover who you are. Discover what you want. Discover where you are going. And once you are able to put all this together properly and you carry it along with you, it will help you to build healthy relationships. Thank you so much for listening. I also did enjoy myself.
Thank you so much, Ma. To all our teenagers out there listening and watching us, please do bring your questions and we'll still forward it to her if you have any. And for us now, let's just summarize all this. So please take note of what our guest speaker just said. Why are you in that relationship? Number one. Number two, what are you seeking for in the relationship? Number three, where will this relationship lead me to? 4, what is the relationship doing to me? 5, is this relationship adding to me or taking away from me? 6, set boundaries. And most importantly, have regular self-examination. So please do take note. Okay. I'm hearing that there's a question on screen. I don't know if you can squeeze that in. So what's the question?
Is it good to have a male friend or bad to have a male friend? That's the question. And some of the questions that we just listed now that you read out, I think these individuals will answer it. So why are you in that? Why are you having that male friend? What's the purpose of the male friend? What is that friend doing to you? Then it will make you know if it is good or bad. You need to find out. I used to tell a lot of young people when they say, oh, is it bad to date? Why can't I date? I ask you, why are you in it? What are you going to be doing in that dating that you just started now? Are you ready for the consequences that will come? Because when you are talking about dating at an early stage, there are a lot of things that you begin to do. Sometimes you may not even be, and like I said earlier on, if you do not prepare yourself for it, you just suddenly find yourself inside of it, you may not be able to cope with the consequences. So you need to be able to answer these questions. That will let you know if what you are doing is good or bad.
Sorry to cut you, man. I know this is a very passionate one for you. But what we'll do is, any more questions, we'll forward it to you privately, and I believe you'll be able to treat that. So, so that we can just quickly wrap up. Please, we want to appreciate all our teenagers watching us and also all our volunteers, facilitators. Thank you so much. Without you, we can't do this. Please continue to follow us on Instagram at Focus Counseling. Focus Counseling, that's double L on Instagram, and on YouTube, Focus Counseling with 1 L. Tomorrow is going to be another exciting one. We have the likes of Kafi, yes, Mrs. Kafayat Shafau Ame, regularly known as Kafi, the dance queen, is going to be here live tomorrow. We have Miss Ugochi Obidiegu, and also our popular social media superstar, Mr. JJ Omojua, will be here live tomorrow. So stay tuned. Join us again tomorrow. Remember, for those at the live centers, come early. Those that come early get gifts, not just gifts, also get opportunity for internship. So once again, from me, from Shay, any last words?
You guys should. It has been nice having you guys. You guys should stay tuned. More things are coming. See you soon.
All right. So see you soon. Shay will be. I wish you can see his Nike shoes. They really look nice. Okay, the camera just zoomed in. Ouch. All right. See you guys next tomorrow. I'm Don Ralph. Bye.